Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the olive crop. So this is a new one that's come out for FS22, just like the grapes that we've done before, but this is slightly different. So what you're going to need on the equipment side, you're going to need a small tractor, so we've got this Landini. You're going to need a subsoiler to do the ground once you've harvested. You're going to need a mulcher to give the grass a bit of a trim in between. You're going to need the olive harvester from New Holland, because it's got different abilities, shall we say. Obviously, rather than the grape harvester, this has got like the funnel sort of thing to take it in. Now you're going to need a trailer that accepts olives, so that's slightly different from grapes, as grapes needed a specific trailer for it. So this one we've got here will take most things, including olives. And you're also going to need a fertilizer. Now you can use the narrow one if you want to, but nice little tip here for you: if you leave enough space between the rows of olive trees, you can get this down there. It will do loads all at once. It will go the full width of the fertilizer spreader. So we'll get onto that in a bit. So first off, we've got an empty field, we need to put some olive trees down. So what you do with that, you go into the menu, you go down to construction, you go across to productions, down to orchards, and on olives. So you click on that and it will give you this little white circle. So what you need to do, the same as grapes, click on the first one, it will say distance too short, and then just drag it out as far as you want it. So when you got it to the end point that you want it to be, you just press on Xbox anyway, A again, and it plants the row down. Then we just move across, we'll do another one, same before, drag it out to where you want it to be, and you get to the end and you press A. Obviously when you get to the end, if you don't press B on Xbox, it will try to do an angle one, which you don't want to do because that's going to be a nightmare to harvest at the end. So if you press B, and it will go back to the starting position. So we'll put a few down and we can get cracking with the rest of it. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap between them, because I found with the grapes, if they're too close, sometimes it gives a few problems. So I'll put 5 down like that. We'll come back out of it, and there's our olive trees. So if we go up to it, it says in the bottom right hand corner, field owned by you, olives is the crop and they're growing, and it's got a 0% fertilizer stain. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump in the tractor and we'll get some fertilizer down. So this is what I mean by the fertilizer spreader, if you've left enough of a gap. So hook this one up, this has got a wide spreading width on it. So if you place them too close together, you're not going to be able to get this tractor down. I've just left a bit of a gap, and they have got collisions on. We'll do this, so we'll turn on the fertilizer spreader, and we're doing all of the rows all at the same time. So rather than having to go up and down, up and down, up and down, getting each individual row with the mist sprayer that we used on the grapes, you just do them all at once. That's going to save you loads of time, especially as you see how far that's spreading out as well. There you are, one pass done. We've got all 5 rows done, all 5 rows fertilised. We could have got some more rows on the end of that as well. So there you are, that's fertilising them. Top tip, leave a bit of a gap. Now maybe even just like leave a gap every couple of rows, so you can just get that tractor down, and then just go and keeping them narrow on the other ones. That's entirely up to you. So go back over. What's it saying now? It's saying 50%. So it's going to need 2 passes with the fertilizer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward it. I'm going to drop another load of fertilizer on it, and then we'll get to harvesting. Okay, so we're back for the second run of fertilizing. But what you're also going to need to do is, you see this you see this long grass here, this needs to be mulched in. So we've got the mulcher here, so we're just going to go up and down, move this tractor out of the way, and you go up and down each of the long grassed areas, and you get rid of all that. Right, so hook up the mulcher. When you're ready, tractor. Okay, so we'll get it lined up. Right, so we'll lower the mulcher and we'll turn it on and we'll go along. And as you can see there, it's trimming the grass down. So this is going to help with your with your harvesting output. So if you mulch per harvest, and you're also going to need to plough after each harvest as well, so it's all going to add into your harvest outcome. So what I'll do, I'll carry on with this, we'll get another fertilizer state on, and we'll come back when it's ready to harvest. Right then, so we're back, it's harvest time. So the olives are grown ready, so we'll jump in the New Holland and we'll get some olives harvested. Right, so you need to unfold the bale. Start the engine first, even unfold it so it raises it up a little. Then we need to turn it on. Let's get it going. Just like the grapes, just down, getting the row in the middle of the harvester like that, and there we are, we're harvesting olives. So this is going to be a bit tricky for your AI workers if you've got them doing field work, because if you don't plant them straight, they're going to have a bit of a funny time and get all hooked up and whatever. So there's maybe one that you need to do on your own rather than leaving it for the worker. But we are harvesting olives. Excellent. So keeping that funnel just in the middle there, either side of the row, and that's it, row one done. Just turn around and do the next one. We'll do this last row and then we'll get the subsoiler out. Obviously olives are slightly different than grapes, because once you've harvested with the grapes you've got to prune the vines again, but with this you don't. Harvest it and then do your subsoiling and it's ready to go again. You don't have to replant them or anything like that like you would do with other crops. They're there. Once they're there, that's it, they will just carry on growing. Just harvest, fertilise, mulch, subsoil, whichever order you do it in, you can carry on. Rinse and repeat. So what we'll do now, we'll turn it off and we'll unload into this trailer and back it up like so. Unload, and there we have it, 1,000 litres of olives going into that trailer. Okay, so once you've harvested, once you've unloaded, you're going to need to subsoil or plough, well they're both the same thing really, to get the maximum out of the crop itself. Although with olives, as with grapes, you do need to subsoil or plough after every harvest. So we'll do that now. I'll hook this up like so. Then as with the mulcher, lower it down up and down each side. There you can see the difference in the texture there. You got more of the dirt, more of the soil showing through. So you got to do that each side, making sure you don't get hooked up on the trees like that. So we'll finish off this row. Obviously you got to go down, up and down each side. So again, if you've left enough space in between your rows, you'll be able to get a bigger subsoiler in between. Then again, if you left enough gap, then you're not going to get as much harvest come the time you do it. So that's something you need to think about when you're planning out your rows. Again, entirely up to you. As with everything in this game, you play it how you want to play it. If you want to put them really narrow and close together, then you're going to have to use the smaller implements. Up to you entirely. And there we have it. Right, so that's planted, mulched, fertilized, now subsoiled. They're ready to go in the next growing state. So it says there growth withered, but when you fast forward onto the next stage, it will then start growing again, and you're off and away on for the next harvest. So that is the olives. Now drop it in the comments below if you're thinking about doing olives. Give us a like if you like the video. But as for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.